Hello, fellow ambitionists, and welcome to Goal Accomplishment Made Easy, the podcast. I'm your host, and this is where we turn your ambitions into actionable plans through proven strategies, personalized goal roadmaps, and a focus on progress. I'll guide you in breaking down big goals into milestones you can achieve. Each episode delivers practical tools to help you stay on track and make real progress towards your goals. Ready to start accomplishing? Let's dive in. Hello, fellow ambitionists. Today we are going to be talking about how SMART goals are overrated, and I want to provide you guys with a better method. Now, here at Goal Accomplishment Made Easy, the podcast and the program, all that good stuff, we've talked a lot about SMART goals. Okay? I know that. But bear with me, okay? Bear with me. If this is your first time here, hello. My name is Desiree. I am the owner and founder of Goal Accomplishment Made Easy, the podcast, the app, the blog, the program, all that good stuff. And what I do is help you create and execute an action plan, okay? What this looks like for the people that are in the program is you tell me what your goal or ambition is, and then I will in turn tell you what all is needed by when for you to hit that goal. So I provide you with a personalized goal roadmap and an action plan for you to execute on, okay? I will give you 2 weeks to go and implement the first 2 weeks of the plan. You will then come back and you will tell me what worked and what didn't work. And then we will adjust the strategy and we will adjust the timeline. You will also tell me what you did and what you didn't do. And then we will adjust the strategy and we will adjust the timeline. Okay? Because life happens. So that's how that works. Now, that being said, I know I talk a lot about SMART goals, and we often recommend starting with clear, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Like, that's the framework, right? And you know that I also add 2 key elements to that, which is 1, identifying tools and resources, i.e., knowing what you need to succeed, like apps or books, skills, financial resources, etc. And the second thing I add to that is securing support systems, which is figuring out who can support you, like mentors, accountability partners, or even just talking to a friend that's encouraging, right? However, while these strategies add depth to SMART goals, there's a growing realization that even this enhanced framework might not work for everyone, okay? So that is why I am having this episode come out today, because SMART is something that everyone has heard of that's in this sector of things. Everyone's heard of a SMART goal, or most people have. If you haven't, that's okay. If you're not in the sector of of work, then you may not, and that's totally fine. In that same breath, they may not be the best solution for everyone. So I want to add on to the SMART framework a bit, okay? For people that are big thinkers, creative doers, and those like navigating unpredictability, this SMART approach can feel limiting, right? The SMART goals, SMART, can feel limiting. So this episode is going to introduce a more flexible, process-driven method that focuses on creating sustainable systems, habits, and momentum rather than rigidly chasing specific outcomes, okay? If you don't know, I am a fractional COO. I am a project manager, certified, and I am a Harvard certified business strategist, okay? Those are the 3 skill sets that I bring to the table when I am talking to people about how to create and execute on their plan of action for whatever their goal is, okay? Those 3 skill sets are project management, operations, and business strategy, Okay. So let's dive into why SMART goals have their limits. Okay. The first reason is ambition takes a back seat. The achievable, which I know a lot of people feel away about these two, achievable and time bound, right? Achievable is what's realistic. And you know what I'm saying? Like that, I never agreed or liked the word realistic and unrealistic. I feel like it just had like such negative connotations. I was like, you don't know me. Like, you don't know what I can do, what I'm capable of. Like, yeah, it may not look like it right now that I can do it, but you don't know. So that just bothered me all the time. So if you're one of the girlies who are like the achievable and time bound elements in SMART goals, like felt like they were stifling your ambition, you weren't alone. And this is why. When you are talking about the achievable and the time bound parts of SMART goals, goals become more about what's quote unquote realistic than what's possible. You hear what I'm saying? I think a lot of the times when people are talking about what's realistic or what's unrealistic, and they're saying, well, what's the likelihood of you being the next Oprah and blah, 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 all that, they're talking about what they think is possible, right? So here's an example. Aiming for realistic career advancement might stop you from considering a bold pivot into your dream industry, right? Remember when we were in high school and it was time for us to start taking those assessments to see like what careers would, be beneficial for us. And some of us said we wanted to be an actor, we wanted to be a singer, we wanted to go to school for psychology and blase blase. And then they showed us the chart of what different professions made. Like, you want to major in art. Like, they showed you the chart of what different professions made. And then at the time, back then, it was like lawyer, doctor. Those were at the top. Nurse. And we're like, I think I want to be a nurse because I want to help people. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you wanted to do music, or we're thinking, I'm talking about like back then. I'm not talking about you guys now that are younger than me. You said you wanted to do music or something, or you wanted to be an actor, or you wanted to sing. They always told you to have a plan B. Like, what if music doesn't work? What if da 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 da? It's probably relevant for people now, but I can only speak my experience. And who wants to hear that? So a realistic thing to do may be to go into a job that's, a field that has good job security. Like, you'll never have to worry about having a gig. So you go to school for something that seems practical and realistic. You don't go for your dream, right? That's the issue. Second reason why SMART goals have their limits. Progress feels very binary, right? SMART goals often frame success as hitting or missing the target. Now, I love that, but this black and white thinking doesn't always account for the value of progress along the way, which is why I tell people to celebrate their small wins, because don't just focus on hitting the goal. Like, you've hit a many goals up to the big goal. You know what I'm saying? And then who you've become in the process is amazing. I always tell people that I help you build yourself to become the person required to get the job done. Not just hit the goal. You have to build yourself to become that person. And that you pulled off. Like, you built yourself to be this person. And so, here's an example. A goal to increase revenue by 15% this quarter may disregard all the systems and work that people have developed and put in place to drive long-term growth if they didn't hit that 15%. You know what I'm saying? Third reason, adaptability is undervalued. Rigid goals don't account for life's curveballs, which is why in my Goal Accomplishment Made Easy program, I do, because you might otherwise feel stuck or lose motivation when the unexpected happens, right? So here's an example. Let's say an ambitious marathon goal might falter an injury trying to think of it out loud. Let's say an ambitious marathon goal might falter if an injury arises, right? Even though your dedication to fitness remains, you can't run the marathon because you hurt yourself. Did you fail? Or did you not fail? That is the question. So here's a more effective approach, I feel, personally. This is what I love. In addition to the SMART framework. Like, I think you have to have both of these. Like, you have to have elements from both, right? And my approach is going to be process-driven goal setting, right? Rather than focusing solely on the outcome, this approach emphasizes systems, habits, and continuous improvement, which is, in essence, shifting your energy to what you can control every day, right? So here's how process-driven goal setting works. First, you start with a vision, not just a goal. And to do this, you identify what truly matters to you and why. Then, instead of setting a fixed endpoint, you create systems that align with that vision, right? So here's an example. Instead of saying, earn $50,000 more this year, focus on building consistent business outreach habits that will increase revenue over time. Okay? You see how this, in tandem with the SMART goal framework, can rock your world? You see it? Do you see it? If you don't see it, it'll be in a blog post that maybe you'll be able to actually see it. So, 2, focus on actionable habits. Break your goals down into small, manageable behaviors you can do daily or weekly. Here's what that looks like. For fitness, focus on exercise 30 minutes every day rather than setting an arbitrary weight loss goal. 3, track consistency, not just results. Measure how often you stick to your habits instead of only tracking outcomes. Example, celebrate hitting 20 workouts in a month, even if the scale doesn't reflect a major change yet. And even if you were supposed to work out every single day of the month and you only did 20, it's not a bust that you missed, 11 days? It's fine. It's fine. Number 4, plan for resources and support. Identify tools, skills, and people you'll need to sustain your systems. For example, if you're writing a book, secure a quiet workspace, writing software if needed, and feedback from a mentor or peer group. Number 5, adapt as you go. Try to remain flexible to adjust systems and habits as life changes. Here's an example. If a demanding work project arises, scale back workout intensity without abandoning fitness entirely, right? If you are in the Goal Accomplishment Made Easy program, what you may have noticed is that I mesh this process-driven goal setting approach with the SMART goal framework approach. So that way you have very clear targets, but also can adapt when needed and not feel bad about it. You know what I mean? So, why this work? I feel like this works better than the SMART framework alone. If I were you, I would put these together. I wouldn't use either or. But if you're going to use, I can't vouch for either or. You have to do them together. I feel like that's just the best way. That's just the best way. That's the best way for your success and your mental health along the way. You got to mesh them both. Okay? So here's why this particular approach works better and should be, in tandem with the SMART framework. There's 3 reasons. Sustained motivation, adaptability, and momentum. You will be able to focus on manageable actions rather than daunting results. Your systems can evolve with your circumstances, which is what we need. And Building small habits generates long-term progress without burnout. Okay? So, here's how Goal Accomplishment Made Easy, the program, helps you implement this. Okay? Our program integrates process-driven goal strategies with the tools and resources you need to succeed. I was going to say, no, it depends. If you have any questions, pop them down in the chat, and that way I won't feel like I'm like overburdening you with information, because I know that like I get really jazzed about this stuff, but some people may feel like it's like information overload. So there's that. But what I will say is that we emphasize identifying the what and the who, helping you align your systems with your vision while fostering accountability and adaptability. Okay? So here are my final thoughts. SMART goals aren't inherently bad. Okay? They're a great starting point, especially when you add tools and support systems. However, if you are feeling boxed in or are struggling to stay consistent, try the process-driven approach instead. Okay? Focus on habits, adaptability, and continuous growth. And I think you'll be okay. What I want you to do after that is mesh both approaches together. Okay? If one isn't working, solely try the other, and then take what elements of the other one that you like and mesh it in and do what works for you. Okay? Now my question to you is, what systems or habits are you going to implement today? Share your thoughts below, and let's build momentum together. Thanks for tuning in to Goal Accomplishment Made Easy, the podcast. Stay committed. Keep taking those small daily steps and watch your goals turn to reality. For more resources and personalized support, visit goalaccomplishmentmadeeasy.com, and we'll see you in the next episode.